judges, first off, thank you so much. So they are here. I'm going to go and let.
I need to sign this in here.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody's done that.
Push it. No, wait, no,
Let me get more.
push it that way. This way? Other way.
Lauren, I need you to sign.
Where'd my friend go that knew the password?
It's 2009.
Oh, so they know it. They know the password.
Hi, how are y'all doing? Good. Where are you from? Burns.
No, that's way too thirsty.
Is that Edgewater? Okay, same place.
One of the students.
Same area, Stone's Throw.
That's fine.
Yeah, where are y'all? Are you excited to be here?
So they're gonna go up and
Yeah, they're gonna go up there and present some.
Got your plan in order? Okay, we're excited to hear from you. Leader, motivator, innovator, entrepreneur. Hopefully y'all get to leave with cards today.
You would be the Steve City.
once we're ready.
What?
Once we're ready. I just want to do it like when you tell me when we're ready. Then
Okay.
I don't want to do it.
We know the password is 200.
So we just walk.
Run up there, but we get to go up there.
Are you good, Charlie?
Yeah, I'm totally good. We can tell.
You got this, Strawberry.
Yeah, hey, here I am.
Did you just have to download?
Yeah.
There we go.
So let's say the present.
Save your applause for a minute.
Zoom in a little bit.
No. Mr. Offer, did you bring your clicker?
Nope.
That's perfect.
I got a picture of the one.
It's just kind of hard to get from this angle and
Good
keep
job.
those.
Upper chamber line. We never saw
I think this is a good thing because we get everybody.
I would.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
And they're not on a timer like TED Talk?
No.
No.
I guess I can stand up here and click through it if you guys want. Would you guys feel more comfortable if I click
I
through
would
the
feel more
slides?
comfortable clicking through it myself.
Okay.
So I'll
I don't have a clicker. You're going to come up here and click.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, awesome.
Am I going?
Okay. So, do you guys want a microphone? Do you want them to have a microphone? Let's see how it goes.
Tell me you're on.
Wait, am I gonna stay on this side?
Yeah, it's not really, it's behind screen. We probably need you in the middle, so.
Yeah, you should let
Okay.
straw through, you're gonna have to do.
Oh, wait. What's this?
She found me now. Oh,
Looks like a mouse.
how was your day?
5 minutes remaining.
Could you turn the computer the other way, that she could, walk behind and click it?
The cord isn't on.
Is the laptop plugged in? Because it'll fit on the podium too.
The cord isn't on.
I know that.
Okay, looks like there's like extra.
Yours is helping with the actual.
Is everybody okay with this
Yep.
idea here? This might be just a little bit easier for everyone to learn, right?
So my only request would be is that, yeah, I can't see her face. Can it go on the little shelf underneath? Will it fit down there? Probably not, too wide.
It's gotta be safe.
Yeah, too wide.
Okay, just do this.
Right
I
here.
don't need to see this, so I can.
Can I, just because I'm a judge on this side, can I request,
You can do
suggest
whatever you
something?
think, sure.
Here, I'm gonna suggest something.
Yeah,
This.
perfect. It's actually
You're
great.
still getting to click, you still get to see your own screen, so you're not, does that work for you? And then
Do
you're standing so we can all see, does that work?
That's good. Okay. And then I'm gonna put this here, and if for some reason somebody's not loud enough, they can just hold the microphone, okay? All right?
I'm gonna start right now. I'm just returning a few text messages.
So my product will help you with that. So Library, what's there? Library will solve this problem by using UVC light to kill all of the mold in your bread and make it last longer. Our product is easy to use, inexpensive, and extremely effective. So our underlying magic is that it gets rid of all of the mold in the bread, like I said already. It's gonna last longer, and my favorite part is that it has an automatic sensor, so when you open it, it turns off the light so that it doesn't like burn your eyes. Like a fridge, honestly, but it's backwards. And we also use premium quality materials, so you're gonna get the best bang for your buck. So our target market is mainly going to be rich to middle class moms. And our geographic is going to be the United States, primarily Florida, because that's where I'm going to be starting out. And then for my psychographic, most of them are going to believe in preservation and like their food lasting longer, and they like to prepare food. And our buying patterns are going to be they spend money on household appliances and things like that, and they have plenty of disposable income. So for my marketing plan, I'm going to start out marketing on places like TikTok and Facebook because that's where like the widest range of people is. And all of the moms' kids are going to be on TikTok and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, mom, look at this cool product, you should buy this so our bread lasts longer. And then I will also be putting my products on wholesale stores like Walmart, and I will have my own online storefront on my website, as well as places like Amazon, because people buy like everything on Amazon, groceries and stuff. It's kind of weird. And then I will also be promoting by word of mouth because that's one of the most effective marketing strategies in my opinion. So for my competitive analysis, for my specific business, like a bread box with lights in it, there's not that many competitors. Like, I've like researched everything and there's like nobody else who has that. So my main competitors are just gonna be like other food preservation things, like the Fresh Book or Fresh Paper and Loran Preserve It Mold Inhibitor, which is like this liquid stuff you put on your food. I think it's gross. My design is more efficient because it's unique and you don't have to repurchase it. So with these, like it's gonna run out when you have to repurchase it, but with mine, you basically just buy one in the last few years. And my ideal market share for year one, I'm planning on getting at least 20% of the market, if not more, just because my product is so unique. So my qualifications, I'm a natural leader, I'm resourceful, and I'm determined. And for some of my recent accomplishments, I won top 12 in the Nifty social media pitch competition out of like 3 states, I think. And I'm also taking entrepreneurship class. Well, I took it last year and this year. And I'm an elementary volleyball coach, leadership. I have a 4.4 GPA, and I'm staying extremely sane while enrolled in college and online classes. So I think that's a great accomplishment. So for my cost structure, one unit is going to be the whole entire bread box with the lights, the sensors, everything. And I'm going to be selling it for about $49.99. And all of my materials, so the 3D printing filament I'll be using, the lights and the sensors and everything, is going to be about $15.18. And the cost of labor is going to be $3.75. And for other variable costs, it's going to be about 30 cents because you never know what you're going to need 30 cents for. And then my total cost, like my profit, is going to be, or the total cost of everything that it costs to make it is $19.23. And I will be making about $30.76 per unit. So to cover all of my monthly costs, like rent, electricity, and water, is going to be $2,800. And I will have to sell about 92 units in 1 month to cover that cost, to break even. So our current status that I'm helping will become into like this big business. I want to establish an online presence on social media and things like that. And I also want to have a sustainable production so that it's just like even throughout my whole entire thing. So for year one, I'm planning to break even, like at least, like that's my goal, break even. And then year two, I want to be able to make $68,000. And then by year three, I want to have a new design, more product offerings, and just like have a new product. Thank you for listening. If there's any questions, you can ask me now or email me or text me. So,
So where does the mold go?
it just,
Into the bread?
yeah, well, not back into the bread, but it like prevents it from coming in the first place.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Can you describe from the design of it how your equipment would keep it from getting stale? Is it airtight enough to keep it
Yes,
from getting
so
stale?
we're going to have, so I'm gonna start by 3D printing just like the base of it. And then there's like a whole entire process. You have to like, I don't really know like exactly how it works. I've done it before, but you like 3D print it and then you like paint it with a coating that like makes it smooth, and then we'll put like an airtight seal on it, and then
Just like any other bread box?
yeah,
you would have
basically
to-
any other bread box but with lights in it. Yeah.
What additional,
Oh yes.
what additional product offerings are considered?
So one of the things I was considering is basically having the same concept, so UVC light killing the mold, but basically on other foods besides bread. So like fruit or like other things like that. That was just one idea, but it will obviously develop into other things.
You'd mentioned your distribution, and you just had a cost without any resellers, but you'd also talked about going through other channels. Do you have a wholesale cost built in? You're making about $30 per unit. I assume selling direct
Yeah.
online, but you talked about other partners selling the products too.
Yeah, that's just like a plan that I've been thinking about. I'm gonna start out with selling it online, and then if I feel like it has to develop that far, like we're gonna do it.
And how long does it extend the shelf life in the bread?
About like a week and a half to 2 weeks.
Longer.
Yeah, longer than it already does.
Great job.
Joe, we get about 2 or 3 minutes to write our notes?
We do,
Okay,
yes.
thanks.
So about 2 minutes, we'll start the next one. Hello. We got the Superwoman here too, on top of it. How are you? Oh.
There's a lot of talent in the room.
Yes, there
All the
is.
time.
Kids, let's get a picture with the Superwoman. Come on, judges, you want to get in with the picture too?
Yes, I love my judges.
Yes, we got good
Thank
judges
you,
today too.
judges, for volunteering your time. Burns, and we're all together, very long. We're one big happy. We're good. Oh, sorry. All right, we're gonna do two, because I
You want our students like in the front here?
Yes.
Why did you guys come like in the front?
They're
You're
taller
the
than you.
superstars. Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Oh,
Oh, there we go, even better, that's perfect. All
I'm coming,
right,
I'm coming.
come on. We're a little extra in this room, we apologize.
Oh, really?
Yes. just-
Joe taking pictures? No.
Hold on.
Don't get crazy.
Let me,
I was gonna say.
Come on in.
Yes,
Nancy.
come on in.
Yes.
Joe, we're good.
I am just like Joe.
Okay, can I get in with my?
Yep.
Can you give them mine too?
1, 2, 3. Okay, all of these here? I don't-
That one,
sure?
yes,
Okay,
that's
right.
fine, thanks.
There's a lot of phones here, I'm just gonna keep picking them up.
That's the other one, I think, is the students.
Is the student one?
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
This one? No, okay, everyone's good.
We can say.
Thank you. Don't worry, I'm just speaking on your phone.
Oh, no, I just want to. We have met Chris and Samantha. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you. Ethics issue, we were talking about here.
That's right, that's,
Yes.
oh yeah, you
Chamber
said,
education.
you said.
I did, I remember that.
Reporter on South Daytona.
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent job.
Yes.
Okay.
Tally it all right now, right? We have time to tally at the end.
Yes, okay, I'll just get started. Let me know when you're done and we'll start.
Tally it later, right?
She's so great. She's so creative. So that was just in your number. Jenny's very she put a great concept. And she's really girls night out, really smart, which is the right business. All right, I think we're ready for the next one. Here you go.
Good morning.
Hi, I'm Michaela Latham. I'm in 10th grade and I go to Burnside Technology Charter School. And my business is called Create Reality. So my product is a virtual reality app that will allow you to work out any and all real world scenarios. So our target market is really everybody, but specifically it can be broken into two categories. Professional, which would include school and work, and social and emotional, which would be events, talking to people, simple day-to-day interactions. The problem is that people are put in many high-stress situations, and everyone has different stress tolerances. Some people find it hard to do day-to-day things, whereas other people don't have as much. But sometimes the extreme stress can make people really sick or unwilling to do something. With Create Reality, I want to solve that problem. So, like I said, the target market is anyone dealing with anxiety, any issues or problems, people in professional settings, schools. It can be another way to have a different type of learning for kids who don't like just normal books and notes. And on-the-job trainings and different aspects like that. Right now, we would directly target this to ages 12 and up because I believe that's when we start getting introduced to real-world things. And that's when emotions start to run high and we don't know what to do with ourselves. Eventually, I do want to provide this to younger kids because I think they also have anxieties that are often overlooked. My sister is deathly afraid of grasshoppers and can't even walk in our house. So something like this would help her get in the house with them. Specifically, the breakdown of what this could be used for in the social and emotional setting, it could be even practice sitting in large crowds, which that may seem very simple to some people, but I struggle sitting in crowds with lots of people. And something like this could expose me to that situation while I'm still safe and can regulate breathing and things like that. It can also be used talking to new people, making new friends, asking people out, and talking through your feelings if you don't feel comfortable talking to an adult or a friend about it. In the professional aspect of it, it can be practiced real estate and jobs like that, and eventually when you want to expand on that, to where if you're in California and looking to a house in Florida, you don't have to leave your state. You can just log onto the app and meet with your real estate person, and they can guide you around and you don't have to leave. It can also be used for job interview practice, customer service, because we definitely need to improve on that, and classroom use, employees training, on-the-job training, things like that. It's a virtual world where you can create anything that you need, and as specific as you need it. The marketing plan would be to really get our social media presence. Instagram, YouTube, the internet, everybody pretty much has at least one social media app. It is the quickest and most cost-effective way to get my product out there. And it has a high retention rate because people are saving, they're following, they're sharing, they're coming back, they're always on their phones, so they're always visible. This is the market that I am going into, the virtual reality market. It is constantly growing. It's not going down, it is only going up, and it's going up at an exceptionally high rate. My biggest competition would be apps like Oculus Quest 2, and really the only competition they provide is like a job simulator app, and there's some, practicing speaking in front of people, but they only target one issue, whereas my product would target any issue that you need. My company would have about 70% of market share based on my research. The value of this is it really can be used as specific as you need it or as broad as you need it. If you are in a company and you're having a meeting and you're chosen to speak in front of a boss or a CEO, that can be very terrifying. And if you have this app, you can practice it out and get more comfortable with it. It can get all the nerves out and you can get as comfortable as you can possibly be in a situation like that. My qualifications is that I'm HTML and CSS certified, so I know what to look like, I know what to look for when reviewing the product. I have personal experience in interviews, and I have a lot of anxiety, even from day-to-day things, so this would be helpful to work it out and get a little bit more comfortable. I'm in a digital design class, and I'm interning with a digital marketing company. The cost structure, we would sell it for about $30. Eventually, we would get it to where you could do a monthly subscription of around $4.99. And it would cost about $750 for the cost of labor and another $750 for other costs. If I sell one app a day for a month, I should make around $1,350, which if you saw the graph earlier, that's a pretty low rate and it should be expected to be way higher. Future, I would like to eventually develop the app to where it can give feedback to different situations. If you're trying to go for a job interview, it can give you different tips on how you should have handled it, how well you did, that way it has positive and negative about the whole interaction. And like I said, I want to make it to where it can eventually be used for younger kids so they can work through any anxieties that they may have. And I want to grow my social media presence more, which comes with time and success. I was always told that nervousness is the cost of being unprepared, so let's eliminate the nervousness with Create Reality.
For someone who has anxiety, you spoke so beautifully and eloquently and calm, and there wasn't, I'm a hyper speaker, and you really nailed this. Great job. Sorry, I didn't mean to ask.
Having been involved in a couple of app launches, I didn't see any development costs in there, which are typically pretty high, astronomical. And also the app stores take a fee for each one you download. So just the development side, have you looked into getting this done?
I have looked into it briefly. I couldn't figure out how to put this specific, with the template they gave us for the cost structure, I wasn't 100% sure on how to fill it in. So I put it in the best I could.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have looked into the costs and what I should look at.
And I was a little unclear, are you pulling in avatars? Are these more realistic people? Are you leaving AI into their
My goal would
spoken content?
be to have realistic people. That way it can be as real life as possible. So that would be the ultimate goal.
It's a great idea.
Thank you.
I like the idea also. Is it almost like an Alexa talking back and forth? I'm very inexperienced with this.
Yes. With updates, I do want to get it to where you can change the voices. But I want to get it to sound as natural as it possibly can, which will obviously come with time and experimenting. But it will kind of be like Alexa talking.
So it's like a friend or a coach or a counselor to talk to.
Yeah, it's anything that you need.
On the business side, I feel there's huge upside opportunity with sales organizations and customer service organizations because they're always trying to mimic the real world, and typically it's going out and actually talking to a customer. This is low risk. A manager can coach a salesperson or a customer service rep with as close to reality as you can. So I think there's potential.
So I completely understand it from the from a virtual reality that you're practicing a scenario, but I thought I heard you say at one point where you wanted to expand it to where you could speak to your realtor on the East Coast or whatever. So that takes out the practice piece of it and goes into a real world scenario?
Yes, that is something I, way in the future after it's tested and perfected that I want to add to it. Because I think it would also still takes some of the stress away of having to go to a different state, or it still makes it a little easier to speak to someone even if it's in a virtual reality setting.
So taking Zoom to the next level?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, thank you. Because currently
How do you involve AI with this?
That would be all the people. They would be simulation AIs. They would talk back. It's the whole thing would be based in an AI world.
All
Great
right.
job.
Thank you so much.
We'll just change it. The next student wants to get their PowerPoint ready. Not yet.
Yeah, yes.
You're just running up. We have some of those, so they're catching up now.
I got a lot writing, writing a lot.
Posting by reading that down. With a slow control.
Are you all in different grades? Is that the only ones from Burns?
Yeah.
Everybody? All right, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Marley Shalkamp. I'm 15 years old and I'm a 9th grader at Burnside Tech High School. And my business idea is a mental health app called Clear Minds Together. And the slogan for my app is give and get back a lot more. So the problem and opportunity for my app is that right now in the world, more and more teens each day are getting diagnosed with mental health issues. They're having anxiety, depression, etc. And mental health is a really important issue right now. A lot of kids feel really alone, they don't get the help they need, and they really want to connect with someone who understands them. And if you look over here, you can see my charts, and you can see how a lot of just kids nowadays are struggling with mental health issues, and the teenagers the most are really up there with depression and anxiety and behavior disorders. So the value that my app has for the world today is that it's going to give people a way to talk to people who has the same issue as them. So you're going to be able to, we're going to be able to team you up with someone who understands you. And we're going to have a team of mental psychiatrists who will team you up with someone who is also dealing with the same mental makeup as you. IT support will also be a part of my team to make sure my app continues to run smoothly throughout the day. So my app has multiple different designs, so that way when you want to find the most common one, that's the one that you can use. It's going to team you up with another person who has the same issue as you. It's really easy to use and it helps you mentally. And over here is my mission statement, and it makes teens stronger and able to better their mental health and knowledge and better understand that they're not alone. So this is the underlying magic and how my app really works. So you're going to download my app or my website, and you're going to sign up, and you're going to take this brief survey over here that I've had psychiatrists already look at, and they're going to help it create so that way they can match you up. And then the app will match you up with someone, and you get to talk to them, and you're going to figure out how they deal with their mental issues and how it's going to work for you. So my target market is teens, like I've said in the past slides, because teens are right now struggling with the most mental issues in the world today. And Right now, more than ever, kids are struggling with them a lot. And you can see over here that there's 21.8 million people in Florida. 2.9 million teens that are diagnosed with mental health awareness. Some aren't even diagnosed, so there could be so much more. And here's some signs of mental health: is always tired, you're withdrawing from social activities, you're having mood change and always feeling guilty and confused. So for my marketing plan, I want to spread awareness by having my website and my social media ads up and running. The purchase for it is going to be a customer referral program. So my app is going to have a monthly fee to be able to use it, and you're going to be able to go back and forth. So if you send it to someone and they use it, then they'll get a whole month free for it. And the retention for my app is I'm going to keep my social media campaigning up and running. So the competitive analysis for my app is Headspace, and you probably at least seen it or heard of it. And it's an AI type of app where you write your feelings and they'll talk to you and give you a little thing back. But my app has a lot more advantages to that. You're going to be able to talk to someone who really understands you for who you are. They're not going to judge you. Sometimes you just need a friend there to talk to you, and that's what my app is going to give you. And you can see over here, according to Mental Health America, 60% of teens in the past year do not get any treatment, and they are not diagnosed with what they're suffering with. So for my cost structure, this is the monthly expenses, the app store expenses, the server fees in order to keep my app running, the salaries that I'm going to have to pay all my employees, and I'm going to have the advertising and social media. And I'm going to need about 8,730 units per month. And I think I'm going to be able to achieve that because I've looked at mental health apps today, and they are doing so well in the world. And my app can really shine throughout these apps. So the qualifications I have for my app personally, I'm taking high school entrepreneurship class, and I'll be taking them from the 9th and 12th grade all the way up. I plan on creating my own app with the IT classes at my school and learning how to do it myself so I can really achieve this. I'm doing dual enrollment already, and by the time I leave 9th grade, I'm going to have my industry certification. And I think there's so many more qualities that I have to really show that I can do this. So I've talked to a psychiatrist already, but this one really stood out to me. She's a psychiatrist with teens, and she works with cancer patients, and she's a doctor right now, and she's still doing really well. And she told me that basically my app is a much needed app for the world today because there's so many limited amount of resources that we have for mental health apps already. And people spend hours just working and sitting in an office trying to get help. And my app is minimal fee for monthly, probably less than a doctor's visit just to go see what you're diagnosed with. And my app will just show you that you're not alone. And you're going to be talking to someone who just gets you. You're not going to get like help or something. You're going to be able to get help by a friend, somebody who will really talk to you back. So the current status of my app is that I already have my website and social media campaigns created, and I've talked to multiple psychiatrists already. But the future plans, I want to get more feedback by psychiatrists again and see what they think about it and how I can make my app even better already. I want to make more social media ads and websites to make sure that my app is spreading out and getting people the help they need. And I want to start building a good foundation for my app. This is Clear Minds Together. Thank you.
So Marley, excellent presentation skills, truly wonderful confidence, and very clearly stated as you went through, truly less ums than I just gave you there just in your feedback. So excellent presentation. I thoroughly believe that the need is real. I agree with that. What are your thoughts about making sure that you keep negative influences outside the people logging into your app so you avoid the trolls?
Yeah, well, I have a lot of IT support already helping me out with it, and I've talked to other business owners about IT support since I know that some people that do run apps. And they know how to keep the trolls out of it, and we're going to make sure that we have good enough security and people working my app so that way trolls don't get involved in it. And if we have psychiatrists also who are matching the people and my team, they'll be able to make sure that the people that are like trolling, we can like make sure that they're real people before they get into my app and they're not doing anything bad. And we're always going to have people watching the conversations to make sure. And say for example, somebody is like really like depressed and they're talking about suicide or something, we'll have a number already there so that way people aren't getting influenced by suicide, they're like getting the help they need, like suicide prevention line or 911 will already be called.
I would just say that's a critical point, just litigation.
Yeah.
You know, in the spirit of misery loves company, I get it, okay, but you might have someone that's borderline paired with someone that's really severe, and now they're both severe because they talk themselves into it. And if someone, heaven forbid, goes off and commits suicide, well, my buddy on Clear Minds told me that it was the best thing to do. So I think monitoring and that kind of runs another slippery slope. You don't want to bring people into this public forum where everybody's watching their conversations, but it's just a watch out.
There'd be like multiple people, like psychiatrists already working my app to make sure, and since we have people monitoring the conversations, if there's a word used that shouldn't be used in the type of conversation, we'll be sure to get alert in it right away and like stop it and see what's going on and alert the people right there so we know what's going on.
How do you get around the HIPAA law? Do you know what HIPAA laws are? Could you get around that in a situation like this? Yeah, it's more of a privacy act where a doctor has patient confidentiality, but in a form like this, what do you
I would
Maybe
say
that apply?
people that enter this space, you should have a fairly strong waiver.
Yeah, we have a waiver before they do it. When they sign up for everything, there'd obviously be a place where it's like a waiver, and you're making sure that people aren't going to be doing the wrong things for this app. And if we catch you, we're just going to kick you off and let them say that immediately, because obviously people shouldn't be paired with people who are going to be doing that type of stuff on my app.
I love the presentation, very strong, very visual. Would you ever match up a professional with a person that's emotionally, they're having some trouble?
Well, I've thought about it, but I don't know if psychiatrists are also going to be like helpful in this type of aspect, because some people sometimes, I don't want to go to a professional if I'm ever really, really sad, or I just want to talk to someone, and I just want to talk to someone who really understands me, and they're not just saying, I understand. I want someone to be there that really understands my situation. So a psychiatrist will just give me feedback on how this can help, but I think that if a person just like me is able to go and talk to me and just tell me that they really know what's going on, I think it'll help me a lot more. Sometimes you just need a friend, like I said.
Great job. Great handshakes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You've got a couple minutes because they're going to fill out. Oh, you're not a student.
Bless your heart.
But you look like one.
Bless your heart, Joe.
Should have worn a polo. That's what we're not afraid of. Besties, what are you talking about? Right.
I like it.
Every room.
Yes, you do. If any of the other judges need to use the bathroom, this is your chance. Otherwise, it'll be 2 p.m. before you can go again. You'll take great. Really, really good. It's very inspiring. Oh, yes, right ahead.
I'll be back. Yep. I'll be back, okay?
Could it actually?
Alrighty, you're all set. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. Hi. Well, anyways.
I'm Sam Berner from Bernstein Technology. Let's start over. I'm Sam Berner from Bernstein Technology. I'm a senior, and I have Edify, an exhibition planner for runways. According to Google, edify means, it's a verb, to instruct or improve morally or intellectually, with sort of a similar vibe to gratify, with an emphasis on education. Let's do a little world building for the fashion industry. So we have home sewers of past years that in our modern age are kind of getting few and far between. And there's a rising entity of corporate fashion, fast fashion, large organizations that can capitalize on ideas but pump it out faster than can keep up with quality. And then in the middle, we kind of have this local entity, these specialized home sewers that are artists, designers, and then third parties like boutiques that cultivate those designers' works into one spot of quality, inspiring, wearable art. The biggest issue for these boutiques, though, is getting their names heard to compete with the larger name brands. Like we've all heard of Walmart, and how many of us have heard of Peppers? About 90% of fashion enterprises fail in the first 5 years due to lack of exposure. My part is getting them the exposure. The easiest way to do that is through runway events. We take the stress off of the shoulders of those boutique owners so that they can focus on running their boutique, getting their name out there in other ways, while we bring them to the stage, and all they have to do is think the idea and make sure that their stuff gets to the runway. We take care of everything else. Our boutique owners are ages 25 to 55 on average, primarily female, entrepreneurs, and digitally competent individuals, along with being incredibly diverse and inclusive due to the industry that they exist. Starting our marketing, we're going to match their digital competence and meet them where they're already advertising on digital platforms like showcasing our events and YouTube videos and advertising on Instagram and Facebook. We'll also show up at other physical events to engage that personal aspect of going to a business expo, and who you meet there is a lot more personal than who you meet on Instagram. Our competition is direct and indirect, though none of them really focus on this runway aspect. Most event planners do weddings or business events that don't take the focus to boutiques. That's one leg up that we have on every other boutique servicer in the industry. Along with that, we are local, servicing only Volusia County, unlike larger event planners that might be based out of Orlando and can offer a variety of things. And we're incredibly personalizable, being that we are down on your level with you, working directly. Personally, I have been in the fashion industry for over 2 years now, and I've organized a few different runways and won Rookie of the Year through a runway that has been accredited through our gallery organization locally in New Smyrna Beach. And my senior project was solely creating this huge runway to showcase student designers and local businesses. So let's break this down a sec. Everything here is going to be outsourced. So although it's through us and we're getting the connections for them, we're not the middleman for the venue. It's that the boutique will get connected with them, and we have the connections already and experience in the industry enough to know who, where, when, why, and how. And then they're just paying us the event planner's fee and then 30% out of each ticket sold. After 12 guests, we've hit break even. Within the first 3 years, I'm hoping to first get a broad enough impact to work with boutiques across Volusia County, and then expand locally and expand the size of our events, working with larger boutiques and larger venues to eventually increase our rates and event planners' percentage fee and service all of Central Florida. In Sanford, Edify Exhibition Program. I hope I've left you feeling utterly edified.
Just, I mean, you had a minute to spare, you did good. But I'm sure the judges have questions.
Sam, I'm a little bit clear as mud on the actual product. So do you work with seamstresses and place their apparel in existing shows? Do you create the show for them?
Yes.
So help me understand the
We
product.
create the show for the boutiques or the designers.
So they just provide models and apparel?
We can get the connections with the modeling organization and with the venue and with the asset of the event.
And in your cost, did you have marketing for the event?
Yes.
Okay. So you're an event creator.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant because there's so many small business boutiques, and like you said, they have to stay in the shop. They can't get out there and do this stuff. And for them just to provide you with clothes, to maybe have some input in model selectivity, and then you just own it. I mean, that's fantastic. And I can see lots of. I'm an event planner by trade myself, so I see lots of potential with that. I won't steal it right to you, but I see lots of potential.
I like it. It's really displaying like an unknown business and taking a lot of pride in the community. Like you said, model selection, that you choose people right in the community.
Sure.
It doesn't have to be, the fashionistas. It could be people right in the community.
And there's so many there's so many home-based businesses that are in a creative world, that are in a creative industry, whether it's fashion or making something. So it's just great.
Okay, so my first thought of Volusia County is not the fashion industry, needless to say.
Really?
I'm sorry, it's not what I think of. Orlando, larger cities, obviously, right?
Yeah.
So do you have enough of a market here that would draw the people that would, do you have enough of a market here?
Actually, I already have a lot of connections with boutique owners in the New Smyrna Beach, Port Orange area. I had to get the connections with them to organize this senior project show.
Yes.
So I got to see it dip into what it's like for them. And that's kind of where I sparked this idea from. And seeing that there's a lot of boutiques that pop up along the shoreline as you go down to Butler Avenue, over in New Smyrna or Canal Street. There's boutiques that line like the streets of just walk-in traffic.
Do you think you have the people to come? I think we have the stores to sell. Do you think you have the people to come?
Yes.
Okay? Yeah.
I think like just with the experience I've gotten from going to their fashion shows that they've organized, if they get the branding out there, the people show.
It's not my world, so I don't see the group of people, but I'm glad to hear it. That's very edifying to me.
I think you found a way to tap into the tourism market too, to connect with that to where people who are just here, they don't go to a fashion show in the middle of a mall or whatever venue you might choose. And maybe in your initial beginnings of the business is maybe do it in public locations, do it at the center of a mall, do it in a place where there's traffic just coming by. You're gonna have that.
And do you feel your customer is mostly boutique owners that are showcasing their apparel made by others? Or is it actual creators that have their own stuff that they actually made?
So I have an experience with both of them. I think there's a larger market in the boutique owners.
Okay, that's what I thought.
than
I thought there were creators in Orange County, but there's some boutiques that sell others, little known creators.
Well, I think it's a great question. I think you're very smart in your business plan to go after the boutiques. Because between Ormond and Deland and Usamurma and South Daytona, Beach Street, you've got a bigger options for a lot of boutiques and stuff. Although I think an artisan show is something you can do as an alternative too.
And
Any
I like
questions?
I like the business name. It's perfect. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, and then they said you guys were gonna sing and dance at performance to close out.
I was summer, like you were.
We thought y'all were.
They're the opening act.
The judges are doing their,
Yes.
on the main stage.
Okay.
I'll buy my tickets.
Yeah.
Would you like us to just go ahead and step out since we're?
You know,
all done?
I don't know the process, but
Okay.
you're fine to stay for me, I have no problem
Well, so
with
at
that.
some point, we actually.
She's
will
the
need to
particular
do
one,
that.
so let's check
You
with
can talk,
her real
right?
quick.
You guys can talk fully.
And once we finish on this round, we're
Yeah.
gonna have to talk about
Yeah.
stuff, so.
Yes,
Talk
we
amongst
are.
yourselves. Okay.
We'll
I
go
just
ahead
need
and
my
step
notepad.
out.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Great questions. Thank you so much.
This is it. Yep. Thank you guys.
Thank you, great job.
Yeah.
We're like an hour ahead of schedule.
Well,
I mean, I've got an hour's worth of work to
I
do.
think there had been time to, like, I assumed we were doing more like 6 or 7, not 4. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But look, it's time to talk about it and rewrite.
Definitely, but I wonder how we can see all of them for the final one, the 11:30.